Some decisions don't hit you right away. They linger, quiet and harmless, until one day they detonate, leaving the wreckage of your life scattered at your feet. That's exactly what happened the morning Lydia Mercer stepped into Whitestone Industries for what she thought was just another day. For 5 years, Lydia had given the company everything. Long nights, skipped holidays, covering for slackers, and pushing herself twice as hard just to prove she deserved her place. But to Adam Whitestone, CEO, old money heir, and polished predator, none of it mattered. She was never part of his world, and no amount of dedication could change that. The conference room felt like a courtroom. Lydia sat stiffly across from him, her hands folded, her throat dry, her instincts warning her even before he opened his mouth. Adam leaned back, savoring the power shift, his expression dripping with false politeness. "I'll be blunt," he said finally. "We're letting you go." The words hung in the air, cruelly casual. Lydia blinked, her mind racing. "Excuse me?" Adam's smile widened. "It's not working. You don't fit here." Her chest tightened. Not fit. After years of outperforming her peers, mentoring new hires, and quietly fixing mistakes others left behind, "Adam, my performance reviews are spotless. I've never had a single complaint." He cut her off, adjusting his cufflinks like the conversation bored him. "It's a business decision, Lydia. Let's not make this personal." But it was personal. It always had been. She'd seen the warning signs. Her ideas passed off as someone else's. Meetings where her voice was ignored, being left out of projects she'd once led. And now, the final cut. She stood slowly, smoothing her skirt, refusing to give him the outburst he clearly wanted. "I'll clear my desk by noon," she said, her voice steady. Masking the hurricane inside her, Adam's smirk said it all. He'd won or so, he thought, as Lydia boxed her belongings. Whispers drifted through the office. Some co-workers avoided her entirely. Others couldn't meet her eyes. But one person stood by. Emily Harper, her closest ally in that building. "What happened?" Emily whispered, stricken. Lydia forced a brittle smile. "Guess I wasn't the right fit." "That's garbage and you know it," Emily snapped. "Adam's been gunning for you for months." Lydia nodded once, her voice low. "I know, but I'll be fine." Emily didn't believe it, and neither did Lydia. As she left the building for the last time, her mind wasn't on moving forward. It was on making sure Adam regretted ever underestimating her. Adam reclined in his office chair, scrolling through his phone with the air of a man who believed the storm had passed. Firing Lydia had been easy. Too easy, and it felt satisfying. She was too sharp, too self-possessed, too unwilling to bow to him. People like her always unsettled him. But now she was out of the picture. Or so he believed. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered without thinking, still basking in his small victory. "Whitestone here." The voice on the other end was cool, measured, and all too familiar. "We need to talk, Adam." His stomach flipped. He hadn't heard that voice in years. A name he'd thought buried in the past. "What's this about?" he asked, keeping his tone light. "I just spoke to Lydia Mercer." Adam stiffened. "Oh, she's no longer with the company." The voice paused, sharp enough to slice through his smugness. "I know. I also know you fired her without cause." Adam's throat dried. "It was a business decision." "You made a mistake," the voice said, cold now. "You fired my goddaughter." The words slammed into him like a fist. Goddaughter. Before he could scramble for an excuse, the voice cut him off. "You've crossed the wrong person, Adam, and you won't see what's coming until it's too late." The call ended. For the first time that day, Adam felt real fear. He sat frozen, staring at his phone like it might explode. The knock on his door snapped him out of it. His assistant, Chloe, stepped in, her face pale. "Sir, you might want to check your inbox." His heart sank. He opened his laptop. Subject line, "Whitestone's hidden bias. Lydia Mercer breaks her silence." Attached was a detailed account. Names, dates, emails, evidence. And the email wasn't private. It had been sent to the entire company, partners, clients, and board members. Lydia had lit a match, and the fire was just getting started. His phone buzzed again. An internal alert, board meeting, emergency session. He stood, adjusting his tie, trying to steady his hands. Before he could reach the door, Chloe added quietly, "One more thing. Reporters are downstairs. They're waiting for you." He froze. This wasn't just about one job anymore. It was about reputation, survival. And as he walked toward the elevator, Adam couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Lydia Mercer stood in her new office, looking out the window as she recalled the events of the past few days. After being wrongfully fired by Adam Whitestone, she had thought she lost everything. But now everything had shifted. She wasn't just back in her office. She was here to stay, to take control, to rebuild. Adam Whitestone had built his empire on fear, manipulation, and arrogance, but Lydia knew the truth. She had the files, the emails, the proof of everything he had done to ruin not just her career, but countless others. Now, it was her turn to bring him down, to dismantle his empire, piece by piece. As Lydia walked through the office, she felt the weight of the change in the air. She wasn't the same woman who had walked out of this building days ago. She was stronger. She had a new purpose. She was the one who had the power now. Her phone rang, interrupting her thoughts. Lydia glanced at the screen. The number was unknown, but something about it felt urgent. She answered, her pulse quickening. "Lydia," a calm voice said on the other end. It was familiar, but the name was never spoken. "I just wanted to remind you, your story, it's not just about what you did, it's about what's coming next." Lydia's brow furrowed. "Who is this? Who's calling me?" The voice continued undeterred. "You're on the right path. Adam Whitestone is already sinking, but you know this isn't the end. There's more to be done. Keep pushing forward. Don't look back." Lydia's heart raced. She'd expected the final confrontation to be with Adam, but now she was left wondering, was this just the beginning of something bigger? "You'll see," the voice said, as if reading her thoughts. "It's not just about power. It's about the choices you make from here on out. But remember, not everyone is who they seem." The line went dead. Lydia stood in silence, the weight of the conversation settling over her like a fog. Who was this person? What did they know? What did they want? She shook her head, trying to push aside the unease that began to stir in her chest. She had a job to do, and she couldn't afford to get distracted now. Adam Whitestone thought he could control everything. But Lydia had learned the hard way that real power wasn't about control. It was about understanding, patience, and resilience. And now, Lydia was ready to take the next step that in the days that followed. The world around Adam crumbled. His empire, once unshakable, was starting to show cracks. Employees left. Clients pulled their contracts. Lawsuits piled up. The board, once loyal to him, now distanced themselves. The news stories flooded in, each one more damning than the last. Adam's arrogant dismissal of Lydia had been the spark that lit the fire. Meanwhile, Lydia's rise was steady. Her new role, though still not the top position, carried weight. People began to trust her. She became the symbol of resilience, the proof that one could stand up against the odds and win. And yet, even as she started to rebuild the company, she felt a nagging sensation that something was still off. It wasn't just about Adam anymore. Something bigger was at play. The mystery voice from the phone call, the cryptic message, it all pointed to something more. Lydia couldn't shake the feeling that she was part of a bigger game, one that had yet to fully unfold. Then, one day, as Lydia sat in her office, contemplating her next move, Chloe, Adam's former assistant, knocked on her door. She hesitated at the entrance, her eyes wary but curious. "Can we talk?" Chloe asked, her voice soft, almost apologetic. Lydia nodded, gesturing for Chloe to sit. She hadn't expected to see her again, especially after everything that had happened. Chloe took a deep breath, clearly struggling with her words. "I just wanted to say, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how bad it had gotten until everything started to fall apart. Adam was always cold, but he was also manipulative. I didn't see it then." Lydia listened, her expression unreadable. "I know it doesn't mean much," Chloe continued, "but I just want to say, I'm sorry. I should have said something sooner." Lydia's gaze softened. Chloe had been caught in Adam's web, just as she had. And now, like many others, she was trying to find a way out. "I appreciate that, Chloe," Lydia said quietly. "But the important thing is that you're here now, that you're willing to make things right." Chloe nodded, relief flooding her face. "Thank you." As Chloe left the room, Lydia sat back in her chair, a sense of clarity washing over her. Adam was done, but she still had work to do. She had to rebuild what had been broken, not just the company, but the lives of those who had been affected. And there was still one mystery left to unravel: the identity of the voice that had warned her, the one who seemed to know everything. But one thing was certain: Lydia Mercer wasn't just surviving anymore. She was thriving. And she wasn't going to stop until she had everything she deserved. The future was hers for the taking.